Hello, welcome back. It's Tara, and guess what? When I came across things I wanted to talk about, I actually wrote them down. I know you're proud of me. I'm probably still going to ramble a lot because that's what it is. If you're new to the channel, welcome. There's a whole bunch on this channel. I'm thinking about making a separate one just for this. But um, at the same time, I don't think that's really necessary because why? I'm properly tagging it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm having a good day. Today's day off. Tomorrow is a work day, and it's a big work day. Tomorrow's work day is a residential clean. I do every 2 weeks when it's not winter time. Okay, so if it's snowing or icy, I'm not going because it's about an hour and a half away and an hour and a half home. So I am driving for about 3 to 4 hours on top of the clean. So I won't do that in the winter. There's no way. Plus, I don't want to beat my car up like that. I live right next to a ski mountain, and that mountain it's bad. I mean, it's bad how beat up it is. It drives me crazy, but it's one of my favorite places, and I love it. And I'm excited to go because she has my friend, and his name is Otis, and he's a big old silly yellow lab. I just adore him, and we have a lot of fun, and I can sing the whole time to him. He loves the sound of my voice. Probably not. He's probably like, oh God, why is she here? But he's great. I love him. Anyway, so I've been taking care of my body almost to the extreme, like taking it easy. I don't like the body pain I've been feeling. I've been talking about that, and I don't want to talk about it so much anymore. But I wanted to get into a couple of things. Um, so the last 2 days, I haven't been in an awful lot of pain because I haven't gone up and down stairs a lot. Okay, so like I went somewhere today, I went somewhere yesterday. So yeah, I'm just hoping that I'm not wrecked tomorrow. Really hoping that. So that brings me to some reasons why I am embarking on this new way of eating, which I'm really glad. I think I've been saying that. I want to eliminate body pain. Obviously, I want to improve my health. I could lose some weight. That probably will help with both of those. Absolutely, right? Because according to my body composition, like charts that I looked at, I am way out there. And when I ever punch my weight in for my height, it's always like, dude, so I'm severely obese according to the world. I'm probably more muscle than anything. But everybody's different. So today I went and calculated where am I supposed to be? I'm 5'4", maybe. I might be 5'3" now, but I'm gonna stick with 5'4". It's the last time I got an actual measurement of myself. Um, and I should be anywhere from, what did it say, 110 to 140 pounds. 110, I think I would look horrible. I probably would mind it, but I think that's like the thinnest I've ever been post-pubescent is 140, and I was flat-bellied, okay, and people thought I weighed like 110. So I wear my weight well, and we'll see if that's still true now that I'm 54. Okay, my goal is 140. I was going to go for 150. It says I'm overweight there. The last time I looked really hot, I was 170. It's telling me that I'm obese at that point. So, we will see as we go. Maybe I will start making longer so you can see my whole body, but I'm a chunky monkey. Um, I've got really thick legs. Let me see if I can show you. I don't want to drop you out of this holder. I don't know if I can show you without dropping you. Scared. I'm just going to try. How about that? Here, instead of tilting you. So these are my legs. I got lots of cellulite right there. The back of my knees, if you were to see that in real life, you'd be grossed out. These are how my knees. You see how how my knees are poofing out? Yeah, it's weird. But this is really what they are, and they're really chunky. That's fancy, by the way. Really thick up here. This is a lot of fat right here, and that's what's kicking my knees butt. And there's my belly. Yes, pretty gross, but I gotta show you where I'm at because I don't have a scale. I can only assume what I weigh. And when I hit the spot that I really like the way my body looks, we'll do that some more. And then I'll go find a scale and get weighed. How's that? Let's see what that is. You know, like the back of my arms are gross. I have a measuring thing around here somewhere, but I've been on a lot of diets in my life, and I've been on a lot of measuring things in my life, and I really don't want to do that this time. I don't want to write up a chart and measure my body. I'm not into it. I'm tired of that. I just want to feel good, and I want to kind of look good. I like looking good. I'm vain. You might not know it because I come as I am to you. I don't get dressed up for this. Um, but I am vain. And so you'll probably see as I go, like today I should be taking a shower. I need to take care of my hair and my body. And I wanted to do it earlier, but it's so cold today. It's in the 50s, but we've been in the 70s and closer to 80 for the last few days. And after that long winter, I'm done with this breezy cold stuff. So I still have the window open because I like fresh air, and in the winter you can't leave it open at all. So, do you like that I put all of my spider plants up there? Spider plants, my cat loves them. He'll eat them. Problem is, it makes him trip out, and he's already weird enough. So I got to get it where he can't access it, or he'll eat it. He'll cut it right down to a little ball. I don't know if there's one here that this one's kind of obvious. You can see that they all are kind of short, but like this one, he bit all pretty close to down, so they don't need direct sunlight. So on top of here, I got rid of all my starter plants because for 2 months I've had them up there under grow lights. They're not doing anything. So I give up. I'm not going to fight that or waste the space because now that it's summer and I want windows open, I need to make sure plants that he's not interested in chewing up are in the windowsill he likes to go in. And I need to have room. I was going to bring a lot down to outside because I have a little deck or porch or whatever, but the thought of carrying something down those steep stairs while holding something that is alive and I love is scary to me right now. So I'll give it a couple. It's not really time for that, right? It's the end of April. Let's wait until mid-May before I start bringing stuff down the stairs. Right? Anyway, I want to make much more room for a much more active lifestyle. So I want to go for long walks. I don't want to think that parking at the end of the Walmart parking lot and going into the store, that literally the last time that happened to me, and I don't go to Walmart very much. It's rare. Like since I've moved in this area, last time I went to town, the town closest to me was that time, but it's the year or so that I've been here, it's been maybe 3 times. I don't like it. I really like living rurally, but I live on a main road. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's 50 miles an hour, and sometimes people driving a lot faster than that. So it's not like I can put the dog on a leash and walk down the road. And because they're trying to kill us all with ticks, I can't go out into the path in the woods now. Like, I'm terrified because I'm practically carnivore. I'm not. I'm definitely keto. But let's not even speak of that. So forget about it. And I also want to be able to double my work endurance. So, for instance, if I live next door or in the same town of the lady that I'm going to go clean tomorrow, when I'm done, I want to be able to have enough energy to go to another house. when it's peak season and my short-term rentals are going berserk, I want to be able to do 2 cleans myself in a day more than once a month. Like last season, I think I did it maybe 3 or 4 times. The season before that, I was able to do 2 a day often, a lot, at least 3 times a week. Fancy, what are you doing? She's like, I'm just checking out the kitty little area. You vacuumed over here. I don't know what you dropped. Dogs. So I want to be able to increase that because I want to make a lot more money. I also know that my body is not loving the cleaning as much as my heart and my mind is. So I've got to get to a spot where I'm taking a management position more often. Like right now, I manage housekeeping for a company. I also do all the hosting, but I don't make any of the commissions. I don't make any of the percentage that the gentleman that owns the company makes. In reality, I should be making at least 10% for what I do, because all he's doing is the paperwork. That's it. That's it. I talk to all the people. I deal with all that. So it's once in a while I'll send him on a mission, and he gets excited about that. But I need to be the one making that money. And in our situation, I think 10% plus what he pays me for running the housekeeping, I think would be fair. I just don't think that'll happen. So I've got to move on up and do more and be more, and that's that. So that includes a lot of things, and I don't even know why I'm talking about that. I also had an interesting thing. I have a gentleman. He used to have a short-term rental with the company that I work for, and he just uses it too much, so he's not meeting contract. I mean, I think you got to be out of your house for like 60% of the time, and he wasn't doing that. He was using it too much, and that's fine. It's his house, but I was like to my boss, you got to stop listing it because you're not making money on that. And him calling you up and say, "Oh, can I get a clean?" Why would he be getting a discounted clean? Because what he pays for cleaning is a lot less than hiring a subcontractor. So if this guy wants his house cleaned, he needs to get a subcontractor. He needs to get his own house cleaner. And like for me to go there on the clock with the company that I work for to do a deep clean is $30 less per hour if I were to rate it per hour than he would pay on the street. It's not right. We've actually been scammed by somebody that actually used to work for him. She knew what she was doing. And I told him, I'm telling you, this is what she's doing. He said, no way. And I said, yeah, she knows what I would charge her to deep clean her house. But now she's going to list it with us again. And she needs a full deep clean because putting it on your short-term rental site, it better be perfect. And I go to this house and I start cleaning and I'm like, what happened here? Like the house fell apart. And I'm like, I told my boss, you can't even list this because there's leaks in the ceilings. The toilet bowl doesn't flush. You can't put any water in the tub because it leaks. She's not ready to put this on as a listing. So in my opinion, she's lying to you. And he was like, what do you mean? I'm like, because this is what she would pay. And this is what she's going to pay you. And he couldn't believe it. Sure enough, the very next person that came after we finished our deep clean bought the house. She put it on the market and sold it. She got that deep clean for hundreds and hundreds, at the minimum $400 less than she would have paid if she had just hired me to do it. So that was the situation with this gentleman. He was just having my boss send the cleaners. And I'm like, this is totally crazy. He can't afford, no. This is not what cleaners cost. Period. So he eventually talked to him, took his listing down, and gave him my phone number. You need somebody to come clean the house. contact Tara. Because I always need side work. Because even though my boss pays well, it's not enough. You can't live on it. If you were guaranteed, 30 to 40 hours a week, you could live on it, kind of. But that's not how it works at all. And your body can only take so much. I can't even imagine cleaning for 30 hours a week. Like, that's a lot of work. Right now, anyway, in my body. So, another reason why I want to increase my endurance with that, because I do enjoy that. And if I could do 2 residentials a day, 5 days a week, I could make great money. I could make people happy, and I would have time to rest. And I wouldn't be so frantic, even though I do like the franticness of short-term rentals because I come from the restaurant industry. Chaos kind of like in my soul. 4 deep in a bar is heaven. Like, oh, goodness gracious. And in season, it can be that frantic. And it's just exciting to me. But whatever. So, on to the next story. So I get a message from the cross the street neighbor from the gentleman that I cleaned his house. Now, I love cleaning his house. I don't charge him a lot, and I don't charge him cheap. I'm kind of like middle of the road with him. I love being in his house, so it's not like, as long as I can get over the mountain and I can fit it in my schedule, I'm super excited about it. I have a feeling that he doesn't quite understand that I'm a professional. Because like during the heat of the season, he's like, "Oh, can you come this Friday?" I'm like, "No, I'm booked until the middle of next month. Every day is booked. Like, you've got to schedule with me." And it took him like 2 or 3 months of no. Now that you didn't schedule with me the last time, here we are again. Now I'm booked out to the middle of that month. And it finally caught up. I'm like, "Actually, I can go." And he came to me a good month ahead. I'm like, "No." One of the times he had called me this winter, it was after New Year's, and he was like, "Oh, I told my neighbor that you would go clean her house," because he pays ahead. So we run a tab, and I tell him when it's up, and he writes me a new check. And I'm like, "What do you told your neighbor that you would pay for a clean?" He's like, "Yeah, just to tidy up, a couple $100, tidy up, clean." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." I had to walk. I mean, it had not been plowed to her house. I had to drive in with my 4-wheel drive and walk through knee-deep snow to go around the house to find the door that was unlocked. What on earth? And I spent a couple of hours there, like 3 or 4. And, I cleaned one bathroom fully. The other bathroom was just nothing but years of calcium and soap scum, and no one was paying me to get that off. So I cleaned the toilet and the sink in there. The shower was out of the question. And I vacuumed the whole place. I cleaned all the counters. I made sure shined up everything that could be shiny. Vacuumed the couches. Vacuumed all the spider webs. Got upstairs. Cleaned the glass on their loft. And I definitely gave them more than $200 worth of Tara. And I have no problem with that. It's just fine. Nothing wrong with that. I get a text message from her yesterday. "Hey, I'm going to need you to come by the house and clean. My friend's family, they stayed up at the house. And I'm like, "Okay, well, I need a lot more information than that. How many people were there? Do you need beds done? Because when I'm doing residentials, I don't want to do beds. Beds kick my ass." And she's like, "Oh, I'll need you to do the laundry." And I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Well, do you know what the condition of the house is?" "Oh, I'm sure it's not bad." Anybody that says that is out of their mind. They should always be like, "It's probably awful." Or, I mean, come on. And I'm like, "Well, I feel like I'm not getting enough information. Like, I can't guarantee you anything. Maybe I could, how do you work?" I'm like, "How do I work?" I need to look at the mess and tell you how much it's going to be. But since I live over the mountain and it's going to beat my truck up to go over to your place. You know, I'm thinking it's $300 to walk in the door, and then I'll bill you whatever is extra. But I need it before I go, kind of thing. I haven't said that to her yet, but I don't think we're going to get that far. She comes back into the message and she was like, well, and I'm like, well, what kind of clean do you want? What do you want? Do you want me to just come tidy like I did last time? Or do you want me to come and deep clean this house? Because we're talking a deep clean on this house, close to $1,000 easy. And I'd have to bring somebody with me because I'd want to get it done fast. So I'd have to share that money as well. She's like, well, you could just pick up where you left off. Finish what you started are the words she used. Well, you could just come and finish what you started. And I have the shed is full of garbage that has to be gone. And I'm definitely going to need the laundry done and the bed's made. Okay. So I message her back and I'm like, oh, that's right. You do have a washing machine and dryer. That's great. I have no idea how it works, if it's any good, if it'll do the job. Because laundry, I'm charging you because I got to be there. I'm not taking it home. And then the next sentence I said, and what do you mean by finish what I started? And then ... You do have garbage service, right? Because I'll be happy to take the garbage out to the cans. Nothing back. What? Today she sends me, those are really good questions. And nothing else. Have I met a princess? Is this a princess? Because she doesn't obviously have a clue who she's talking to. Her friend paid for someone to come to her house and clean up after her New Year's party. That's it. What I did, I finished what I started when I went in that house. I was done. There was nothing left undone because I was only paid so much. And the house was definitely in beautiful shape when I left. It was gorgeous. I got pictures still on my phone to prove it. So she's probably not going to work out. Because I'm thinking I'm going to need $300 to show up. Paid beforehand. With the agreement that $300 for just a general clean for what I did last time. Everything else after that is an add-on. You want me to clean the fridge inside? That's another $100. You want me to get the soap scum off the shower in the bathroom? That's going to be a $250. You want me to make sure every single piece of glass in the place is exactly where it's supposed to be? You're looking at another, she's looking at a lot of money. And I don't think she understands. And I don't think she takes it seriously. And I think she thinks she can just push me around. And I don't know why she thought that. Where she got that idea. Okay. Thank you for listening to me vent. What else did I want to talk about? So, I've doing some research on the allulose. There's a lot of really interesting things. There are some people out there that don't touch that shit. Okay. The biggest reason they say not to touch it is because food makers in South Korea wanted to add it to food, and because it doesn't affect your body the way sugars do, they wanted to ask that it not have to be listed on the ingredients. That could be shady. I don't trust companies, so who knows? But I kept looking, and I found that it's an actual prebiotic and is super good for your gut biome, and your biome likes that. It also, apparently, this is all apparent, I'm not a doctor, and you need to go Google in your YouTube and Google on Google. Go look it up yourself, okay? This is just things I found. Helps with fatty liver. Now, that's cool, because I just drank for 30 years straight. That's awesome. So that would be great. Also, another thing is if you just added it to your coffee and didn't change your diet, changed from sugar to allulose in your coffee, you would actually lose weight. I guess they measured that somehow. I think that's really interesting. And I told you yesterday I made ice cream. Remember, it was the cover of my photo. And the whipped stuff tasted really great. I had ice cream last night. I nailed it. It tastes like ice cream. Almost as good as like, I would call it like I would say I nailed it to the point where you could even say Haagen-Dazs. That awesome. I did recognize something different today that was different. About halfway through my first cup of coffee, my stomach went, and it was mean. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh. So even though I added a half a cup of allulose to my 4 cups of ice cream, I think I'll cut that in half regardless because that was like, ouch. And now it didn't continue on during the day, but that is something that does happen. So those are just a couple of really cool things. Like your gut biome loves it, and it feeds your healthy gut biome. That gut health is probably the most important thing in the world, and helps reduce fatty liver. And it will help people lose weight that don't even change their diet but switch their sugar to that. That's crazy. So I ain't mad. I'm going to keep trying. Obviously, I'm going to keep trying. I got 4 pounds of it. Also, when I was pulling in today because I wanted to get some more side pork, and pulling in, I'm like, oh, I see something in the mailbox. I rarely check the mailbox because it's right on a fucking highway where people are driving 100 miles an hour and there's poop trucks flying by, and the poop trucks at the farms, a lot of those trucks shouldn't be on the main road, but they are because they got to get from one farm to the next. You don't want to be around one of those when they're driving down the road fast. So I don't even bother checking my mail, but I saw a big envelope. And I'm like, okay, but let me look and see if my name's on that envelope. It was. Egg white protein. And I had, I guess, put this on my shopping list because I think it was inspired by Steak and Butter Girl or whatever her name is. Cheesecake. You can make bread and shit with this. So it's not a lot. It's small. What is it? 8 ounces? That's small. But I got it. And I'm excited. I want to show you my meat store haul. Now, I went to my favorite meat store. It's my meat store. It's called Bros, or Brault is how you would say it if you were to say it how it's spelled. But here I am in Vermont, and they call it Bros. So it's Braults. Meat market and slaughterhouse. So I went and got me some meat, and I went for side pork. So I got me 2 more side porks. And side pork is just really thick, uncured bacon. It's just bacon with nothing in it, which is great. I got, what the heck is this? Ham hock. It's like the thing that you put in your split pea soup. It's mostly fat. Look at that. So I'm thinking I'll render that out for lard, for homemade lard, and maybe even get some chitlins out of it. Not chitlins, the like pigskin kind of thing. I like that shit. I got that. I got another. I love sausage. A nice Italian sausage. It's not very spicy. I've got to add a lot of spice, but it's at least got a head start, right? And oh, I'm not even a pork person. I have no idea. I got me a big pork butt. I think it's a pork butt. No, it's a shoulder. The shoulder roast. I got that. Mind you, I have to remind you, I went for 2 pounds. All I wanted was side pork. There's nothing in the. I have nothing defrosted. I got a pack of leg and thigh skin on. They usually don't have anything skin on there because they don't process chicken there. So I've got to find somebody that processes chicken, or I've got to get some chickens and start processing them myself because I really like skin on thighs a lot, and I can't get them anywhere. What else? What do I got in here? I've got 6 dozen eggs in there, just so you know. And I got New York strip, a 3-pack. And it looks like they're starting to think of me when they cut it. I like mine thick. So that's really exciting. I got that. Yeah, I spent way too much money, but at least I have a variety of meats now because all I had was, I think, 5 pounds chopped meat left. And so that's a thing. And I got some cheap ass baking cacao to make chocolate ice cream. There's no carbs in it. So what else did I want to talk about? What is that? Oh, I want to talk about benefits that I've been seeing already. Um, and I think this is a combination between me not drinking, because I noticed this before I started eating this way, and the vibration plate, which tomorrow I'm back on it. I'm going to do 10 minutes, even if it's on level 1. I don't care. I've been doing it for my feet a lot. I'm doing it again. I don't care. We'll see. Okay? I need it. So, one thing that I've been noticing, and this is, I use castor oil, and this helps that, but when you get skin tags or discoloration of your skin, it usually starts in your liver, okay? And it's also as a result of like sugar problems. So, I used to have a skin tag right here. Yeah, it's been gone a minute. But I started having little skin tags all over my body, and I was not liking it. Well, I don't have any skin tags on my body anymore, and I just really noticed that, and I'm like, that's good. That's something to mark up. That's only going to improve, especially since I come from a line of Russians that have moles, and like my crazy mole here. Like one day that'll just fall off. Maybe. I mean, it literally is hanging on by a string. So I don't want anything that doesn't need to be there or isn't beautiful to me to be popping out of my skin, especially skin tags. I think they're disgusting. As a matter of fact, I considered, or maybe I did, maybe I dated this guy a couple of times back in my 30s, that he had these skin tags all over him, and it was disgusting. And my daughter was young, and her friend was young. They were like, I don't know, preteen. And they called him Penis Mole because all of his skin tags look like miniature penises all over his neck. I am appalled by skin tags. So, benefit to getting your sugars right, getting your liver correct, is you're not going to be seeing skin tags. Use castor oil and tallow on your skin. You're not going to be seeing a lot of skin tags anymore, okay? I was going to put my hair up, but I have to comb it out and take a shower. So I just left it crazy. What's the other thing? They say if you're looking to lose weight, they say you should have 1 gram of protein per pound of your ideal weight a day. So if I was to have 140 grams of protein today, that's what I should be having. I have not even come close to that. So I've been kind of battling with, do I want to just eat when I'm hungry and figure it out that way? Because I feel like I should do that. And I probably, that's how I'm going to roll. But I do want to at least write it down and maybe once a week mark my macros. Instead of being obsessed, once a week do a macro check. How was it? How did you do for the week? Kind of thing. So I got one of these last time I went to go clean the lady's house I'm going to tomorrow, and this is going to be my diary. So I'm going to write down everything I eat. I'm going to start this one tomorrow. I don't want to I want to start it tomorrow. And keep track of that. That's where I'm going to keep my notes of things I want to talk to you about and just other things that come up in my brain. I do have a journal that I keep for when I read the Bible. I want this to be more freeform, more stream of consciousness kind of thing. And I'm excited about it. And it's so beautiful. And I got it on sale last time I was out there for $7. Like, what? It's so pretty. So I'm excited about that. So if you're like obsessed with losing weight and that's what you want to do, 1 gram of protein per pound of your ideal weight is what you should be having every day. I don't know if that's what I'm even going to hit. I did go onto carbmanager.com and figured out what I had for breakfast, lunch. I waited till I was hungry to eat. I took some stewed meat that I had pre-cooked last night. I put a handful of greens in the bowl. I cooked it with a small white onion in the cast iron, 3 cloves of garlic in the cast iron. Got that all nice and yum. I started that in the olive oil. It already had some tallow in the pan though. I put the stewed meat on top, just cooked it for a little bit until it was cooked all the way. Then I put it on top of the greens, added a pat of butter and a whole avocado. I love avocado. So I don't know if I'll ever be fully carnivore. Well, I love avocado. So put a whole avocado on top of that. So I know I got a lot of fat. I know I got decent protein. I don't know. It was probably 8 pieces of chunks of the meat, but it was really lean. There's no fat on it. So that thus the pat of butter on top of the meat. And I ate that. It was so dang delicious. And I just, like I said, I don't know why I didn't start earlier. So I put that into my carb counter. The carb counter is trying to tell me that onion was 27 grams of carbs. I'm like, no. When I was keto before, I didn't even count onions. I just am curious. I didn't even count them. And they put me on some and they called my greens something like 15 grams. Excuse me? Per serving, and what I had was probably a serving, is like 1 net carb. Where do you get that from? And then telling me it's steak. I didn't say that I went to the fucking Roadhouse. I had it right here. Oh my gosh, I was mad. So I readjusted them. I'm like, it was 1 small onion cooked, and it wasn't from a restaurant. You got it. And I went and Googled, what is 1 small, not red onion, what yellow onion? What are the carbs in that cooked? They're like max 6. Oh, okay. The carb counter had me going over carbs. I'm like, there's not a possible. Dude, it's not possible. I am not even close to 30. And you're telling me I'm at over 31? Not even close. Not even close. So what that made me want to talk to you about is, can you imagine how many carbs you're actually having every day? When you think all you got to do is just cut out bread and pasta and rice? Wow. So be careful. And I adjusted that, and I found out what it really was supposed to be, and adjusted it on my thing, and I got plenty of room. I could have a half a bagel right now if I wanted to. Goodness gracious. So if you're into this, if you're into like keto or anything like that, just keep your protein high and your fat even higher. Your fat should be way higher. Should be almost 60% of your total caloric intake. I want to give you a couple people that I think that you should, if you're interested in this, that you should be checking out. I'm finding a lot of really cool recipes and whatnot on the Butter and Steak Girl. I have not watched a lot of her long form. I don't know. Just like some people are not going to watch this. I don't know. Who I am enjoying a lot right now is my Zero Carb Life. I like her. I don't know why. I just think it's great. And she's been doing it for 16 years. 16 years she's been carnivore. Wow. Um, she's got a lot of really cool things to say. I like that she's not judgmental. She doesn't seem to be like, I'm not in any of her groups. Like, she has a business that she runs with this. So I don't know how she treats people one on one or in a small group setting. But her videos are excellent. Okay. And her shorts with her kids making desserts and shit, she taught me how to make the ice cream. She doesn't add any sweetener to it. I did because I'm just coming on this, you know? She will use allulose though. And I think it was like I don't even know. That egg white protein was said enough that I had to get it. So, those two I suggest. There are more out there. There's a guy on Instagram, I don't do Instagram, called Keto Snacks. I guess he has really good, interesting keto snack stuff too, which is great. Um, so yeah, what else? Is there anything else? No, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. And yeah, making the change is so huge. Maybe I will continue. Those of you that don't want to listen to this part, you don't have to. But my carb, my zero carb life. She was talking about I changed and people didn't like it, and she talked about when she first became carnivore, and it was actually recommended by her doctor. She was pretty obese for a little girl, or for a young woman. She was a teenager. um, she she had a best friend or whatever, blah blah blah. Go and check it out. You can go find it. I think it's a recent video. So it made me talk. It made me think about somebody that I was friends with, and they just wouldn't change. They just wouldn't change, and they ended up passing away a couple of years ago. And it was awful to me. Very sad. Maybe 3 years ago. That fucked me up. And she was not going to change. And I'm pretty sure her liver failed her because, from what I understand, like she went to the bathroom and just said, "Oh, my period's just out of control," or something like that, and didn't come out of the bathroom. And when you die of liver cirrhosis, you basically bleed out. So, alcohol had, I'm sure, something to do with her liver issues, but I don't think she even drank at the time. It was different. It's a little bit more intense than that. So, with that being said, don't be afraid of making changes. You're not going to miss anything. If anything, you're going to miss something if you don't. Just make the changes that you feel better about. And don't beat yourself up. One step at a time. That's it. One thing at a time. And to whatever place you want to get to. You don't have to be a carnivore. I always recommend, I think everyone should be keto because I think we're so sugared up in this society, it's ridiculous. But, you got to do what's right for your body, what you feel good at. And like my big wake up call after deciding that I wasn't going to be a drinker was the fact that my body hurts so bad and I'm 54. And I don't want to retire. I actually want my life to get more physical. I want to have a homestead. I can't even imagine stacking wood right now. Okay? So I knew that my wake up call is like, dude, just quitting drinking is not going to do it. You've got to remove all that sugar from your body, from all those joints and all that shit. And you need to shed those things. So don't be worried about change. Be worried if you don't. Okay? I love you long time. And I think that's it for the day. Another 45 minutes. At least I was more focused. Yeah? Maybe? Kind of? I don't know. And yeah. I'm contemplating whether or not I'm going to have keto dessert for dinner or if I'm actually going to eat. I don't know. That's something. Once you go high fat, low carb, you're not nearly as hungry. It's crazy. But anyway, I'm gonna go. I gotta give Claire Bear a call. She tried calling before, and she's coming out here in May to visit. So let me give her a call. I love you. Long time. God bless you. God bless yours. And do whatever it takes to be really good to yourself. Really, really good to yourself. Okay. Bye.